Welcome back to Surviving and Thriving, where we share with you the things that we have learned as we have transitioned our family from struggling to survive disease to thriving right smack dab in the midst of it, in the hopes that something that we share with you will help you, enlighten you, and encourage you as you transition your family from struggling to survive disease to thriving right smack dab in the midst of it. Have you ever felt like you just wanted to quit on some aspect of life? Right? Whether it's your physical therapy, whether it's the way you're eating, just get tired of treatments. You get tired of different types of therapies. You get tired of taking pills, even herbs. You get tired of taking medications. Have you ever just said, you know what, it's not working, it's not worth it, I'm frustrated with this, I just want to quit? Well, we're going to talk about that today. I have felt that many times. Not even just going with health issues, but in life. But I have been taught in my 19 years at my church repeatedly over and over again, and I'm going to tell you what they told me: never ever quit. There is no quitting you. You are built for what you're going through. Now that I got that out the way, and you know that, and that's implanted in you now, let's talk a little bit about this. That feeling of wanting to quit, feeling like the things that you're doing is not working, happens. Everybody feels that at some point in some way in their life. The difference between people is who take that feeling and act upon it, and those who take that feeling and squash it and build upon it and go forward in life. That's the only difference between all people that walk this earth. Some feel that feeling and quit. Others feel that feeling and keep going forward. And we need to be people that feel that feeling and keep going forward. Now, do I ever feel there's a time for it's okay to quit? No, I don't really feel there's a time that it's okay to quit. Now, if God told me to stop doing something, or that the goal that I'm going for is the wrong goal, then I'll quit. But most often, especially with big things in life, I pray on it. And if I feel that this is a God-led thing for me to do, or this is what I need to do, and God is saying go in that direction, I'm going to go in that direction. And I don't change my goals unless I feel impressed that the Lord has changed my goals. So I don't quit. Now, my way and my tactic of going about trying to accomplish those goals may change. I may be doing one thing, and then I evaluate or see or learn that what I'm doing is the wrong thing to do. I will switch what I'm doing. Do I call that quitting? No, I don't call that quitting. I call that changing strategies, changing tactics. I call that still going for the same goal. My goal hasn't changed, just my way of doing it. It's kind of like if I'm going to fly to Alaska, right? If I'm going to go to Alaska, my goal is to get to Alaska. Now, whether I'm taking a flight and then I find something happens to the airplane and I get on a boat and I go to Alaska, well, guess what? I didn't quit on my goal. I'm still going. My mode of getting there has changed. I was going by plane, but now I'm going by boat. You know, I might be taking a cruise. I might be taking a ferry. I'm still getting to Alaska, but the mode of getting there has changed. That's all it is. So I don't really feel like quitting is an option ever at any time. It has been ingrained in me. It has become a part of me, and there is no quit in me. But I still feel at times like, you know what, this is too much for me. Why am I doing this? Now, why do we feel that way sometimes? Why we feel like we need to quit or we want to quit is because we don't think that what we're doing is working. We're not seeing the results when we think we should be seeing the results, or how we think we should be receiving the results. It's not happening fast enough for us, right? That is the real reason why we feel like we should quit. It's not that we don't have what it takes to be able to accomplish. Everything we need is within us. Everything we have. How many times have we made it through things we did not think that we were going to be able to make it through? So what we need to make it through, it is in us. It's that we're not getting the results we want, when we want it, how we want it, that makes us want to quit. So with that, it's important for you to know that you need to surround yourself. If you haven't seen my video on surviving and thriving on allies, I did it about a year and a half ago, go ahead, I released it about a year and a half ago. Go ahead and watch that video on allies, talking about surrounding yourself with a team, people that you can trust that's going to help you to go through the things that you're going through. And you need to know who the people are that you can trust. For me, I can trust my husband. He is my caregiver, and I can trust him. We don't always see things the same way. In fact, 99% of the time, he has a perspective on it totally different than my perspective. And I don't all the time understand his perspective, but I've learned to trust his perspective and how he sees things, and I value the difference in our viewpoints. That's really important. Okay, you need to know that you can value the differences of viewpoints between you and someone else that you trust. You really don't want to surround yourself with people who just see everything the way that you see everything, because that can actually be a hindrance for you and cause you not to see clearly because you're only seeing out of one eye, right? You want to be able to have good vision and good focus. So I've learned to trust what my husband said. I also I've learned to trust some things for my children. I ask my children for feedback a lot, because especially when you're dealing with children, especially the younger ones, they just speak out of pureness and innocence, and you're going to hear what they think whether you're ready for it or not. So if you're going to ask a kid something, just make sure you're ready for the answer that they give you, because it might not be how you want to hear it, and it might not be sugar-coated, right? But also know the people that you're asking, because you should know that there are some people that you can trust, but some people, you know if they're going to be totally upfront, or are they going to sugarcoat it too much? Are they going to be afraid of hurting your feelings? You need to know who you're going to ask, and sometimes you need to ask some people that you know may not answer it the way that you want to be answered, because sometimes therein lies the truth. But you need to know who you can go to that can give you a clear perspective, a clear point of view, because when you're feeling like you want to quit, you're usually not seeing straight. You're usually not able to rightly divide what you're seeing and what you're experiencing and what you are going through. And I gotta tell you, it is really hard, right, to overlook the fact that you are longing to come out of something. You are longing to get some results. Sometimes it's like you have to almost fool yourself into thinking that you're not really feeling the longing or the wanting, so that you can endure because you want it so bad that it can stop you. It can paralyze you, and it can just, it's like the wind being knocked out of you because you want it and you want it now. It's good to have people to help you to be able to see when you're in those places, to see clearly, right? And sometimes when you're going through things, I know, like for me, right, learning this second time over to walk again, I'm a lot stronger, I have a lot more endurance, I have better balance, but I'm way far away from where I need to be. And so sometimes it gets a little frustrating because I want it now, right? But I'm blessed, you guys. I got it way faster back than what was said that I should be able to get it back. And so sometimes I feel like I'm doing all of this and I'm not being able to get the results I want. I can see on one hand where I'm improving, but then on other hands, I can see certain things that just takes all that improvement and pushes it out the way and bounces me back down, pushes me back down, because I'm like, I'm not as far as I thought I was. So I have to rely on others telling me, my husband and my children telling me, you know, your endurance has improved. Remember when you couldn't do this? To help me to really rightly balance things out. Sometimes when you're taking certain things, right, it takes a while to see the results that you want to see. You know, there's a lot of things on YouTube that get a lot of hits because people are wanting things quick. We're in this, you know, fast technology, fast food era and time and in life, and so we think that everything is supposed to come quick, right? We don't want dial up, we just want to boop and the computer is on, right? And so what happens is we think that we take a pill and we should be able to get better. And so people put out all these YouTubes, all these ads, all these things saying, hey, you know, lose that belly fat in 7 days. You guys, I just want to tell you, anything that seems like it's too good to be true most likely is too good to be true. I don't care if you don't eat for 7 days. You're not going to drop 50 pounds of belly fat in 7 days. And the pictures they put on there to act like this is them, they're not real. That stuff is, you know, you can do a lot with a Photoshop, right, to make things look a certain way. And so we want things quick and we want things fast. But you guys, a lot of things is going to take a lot longer than we thought it was going to take. And at the point that you feel like you want to quit, I have found this to be true over and over and over and over and over again. At the point that you find that you want to quit, that is the most important time for you to not quit, because your breakthrough is drawing nigh. Now, breakthrough drawing nigh doesn't mean that I want to quit tomorrow, boom, everything is better, I got it, my breakthrough. No, sometimes it can mean, I want to quit, but I'm hanging in there. I want to quit, but I'm hanging in there. And guess what? My breakthrough was in 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, a year. Sometimes your breakthrough, your midnight and your morning can seem like a long time, but it's really short in the whole scope of everything. So never quit when you feel like you want to quit. Another thing that I want to share with you that I found most important in life is never make a decision when your emotions are high. Never make life-changing decisions when your emotions are high. High meaning that, because you can have a bad emotion, and we oftentimes refer to that as low. I'm in a low place right now, right? But when I say emotions being high, I mean when you're full of emotions. When your emotions are high and big inside of you, you don't want to make decisions based upon emotions. I don't make decisions for surgeries that I've been told that were 911 and emergency based upon emotions. And when the emotions came down and balanced, we found out that they were telling us something was 911 that really wasn't 911. And they were trying to get us to do something, saying it's a life or death thing, when it was really an elective surgery that would cause unnecessary things, and it was not necessary. So never make make life-changing decisions when your emotions are high, when you are full of yourself, full of your emotions. So when you feel consumed with that desire to want to quit, when that desire to want to quit is speaking loudly on the inside of you, that's when you push harder and you don't make a decision. If you choose that what you're doing isn't the best thing for you and that you're going to need to stop it and change your mode, but don't do it while you're in the middle of the emotion. Wait until the emotions come down. Keep steady. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep on that same road. But when the emotions come down and you find that you are balanced in your emotions, then you can look at it and make the change. At that time, should a change be necessary. Remember, in all things, do you. Until next week. Bye.